There's a God who knows us by name. There's a God who takes the time to count every hair in your head. And that God is the same God who planted those seeds and that potential in us. And he works through his church to make sure that every child gets a fighting chance at life. Do you know what? Disciples such as myself are flowering out of poverty every day. And the church is doing this and making this happen. The Word of God has a lot to say about this. While it appears that it is the individual sponsoring a child, we know that all provision comes from God. Amen. And that anyone who lends to the poor, or gives, or comes along and comforts the poor, lends to God. Amen. 3 months after this man, David, who worked for Compassion, had taken that picture, I got the news. I got the news that I had been chosen and been sponsored. I clearly remember this morning, I'm standing over there and my mom is standing over there talking to David. And all of a sudden, my mom throws down the broom she was using to sweep. And she begins to turn around with an ululation. Now, I come from the Bagisi tribe, and we do shoulder shaking quite a bit. And so my mom begins to turn around. Now, as she was turning it, I could tell what that sound was. I knew that's good news. And I remember running off to my mom, and my mom looks at me and said, Richmond, you won't believe it. You've got a sponsor. There was dancing in our home for days. Now, I want to tell you something that my mother heard that almost caused her to fall off the chair. So my mom is sitting and talking with Compassion workers, and she's told, Richmond's sponsor, listen to this, Richmond's sponsor is a 15-year-old girl. What maturity could be given to a 15-year-old to join the fight against poverty? To take a babysitting job so she can take care of some young man somewhere who is struggling, bending backwards towards the weight of life. And I think about all my potential that was dying on the side of the street, and how one girl, I can't wrap my mind around that, how God works. One person, one act changed my life.
Seeds of greatness, seeds of greatness, seeds of greatness in you. We believe.